we violated the Eighth Amendment that was proposed in 1789. And they also said that the guillotine and electric chair violated the Eighth Amendment, but they didn't know that the electric chair and the guillotine, the first killed, were after the Eighth Amendment in 1890 and 1792 to 1977. So they have to define cruel and unusual punishment in the Eighth Amendment, but the electric chair and guillotine came after. And then in their one of their case studies, they did mention that 150 were exonerated, but their cases started in 1973. It's only natural that since 1973 that some were exonerated because they didn't have the technology used today. They don't have databases that the FBI created, and they don't have fingerprints or the DNA strands related to families during jobs and the fingerprinting. So it's only natural that they were exonerated. And the net claims the impact outweighs the harm, but in a 2007 report by the National Criminal Justice Reference Service, the NCJRS, it states that we simply assert that if capital punishment has a deterrent effect over and above life imprisonment, a lengthy implementation process begins that effect. Deterioration is based on an association of the crime with its attendant punishment, and the passage of time has long been thought to diminish that association. Delays in carrying out death sentences would undermine the deterrent effect of the death penalty by creating in the minds of potential offenders uncertainty about its imposition. So basically that means shorter weeks on death row increases the deterrence. And Dr. Shepard had a study in 2004, and it basically found that one extra murder is deterred for every 2.75 years reduction in the death row wait before execution. The NEG also states that with expediting the death penalty, we rush potential time for people to be proven not guilty. Their time to be proven not guilty was in their fair trial, which was given by judges and juries, and were proven without a doubt guilty and were sentenced to their punishment. And then a Sacramento County District Attorney Anne-Marie Schubert states that death row killers earn their sentences recommended by juries and imposed judges across California. Justice demands that those sentences be carried out. These killers should not be rewarded by repeating the death penalty. Why should these criminals be given a second chance when their victims didn't have a second chance? Their lives were taken away, and not only were there was single victims, but their families. They don't get second chances of these victims. And respected Judge Arthur L. Alarcon stated that in 2011, since reinstating the death penalty in 1978, California taxpayers have spent roughly $4 billion to fund a dysfunctional death penalty system that has carried out no more than 13 executions. And this was from the Death Penalty Information Center. In the NCJRS document, their studies discuss the increased correctional costs for maintaining death row inmates. It stated each year that elapses between a capital sentence and its implementation or reversal adds thousands of dollars per inmate to the imprisonment cost of the death penalty. In California, for example, it costs $22,400 to house a prisoner for 1 year on death row at San Quentin, compared with $20,760 for non-death row prisoners. Since the average national stay on death row for those executed is 12.25 years, the correctional cost using the California death row figure is $274,400 per execution prisoner, and that's $20,900 more per prisoner than the non-death row cost of imprisonment over a comparable period. Clearly, the lengthier the capital appeals process, the more expensive the imprisonment is, therefore costing Californians more. And former President Bill Clinton once commented, "For too long and too many cases, endless death row appeals have stood in the way of justice being served." And according to the NCJRS document, it states that the appeals process does not affect the non-capital sentence in the same way it does capital sentences, whereas a death sentence may not be carried out while appeals are pending. So that means that the criminal can appeal and in the process stay in jail. Many criminals and their attorneys use this tactic, and by carrying out the death, by having the death sentence further away by appeals, and therefore beat the system and again do injustice to the victim and their families. And the NIG states that there is no problem with the current death penalty and that we are not solving any harms but creating new ones. But with expediting the death penalty, we're not only saving California millions of dollars, but we are solving the injustice done to the victim's family, reinstating good faith from the public eye, and due to the 2004 Shepherd study also preventing could-be murders. And they also said that one harm was from having an innocent person executed, but that's already a harm. With us, we are not only giving justice to all the families, but we are also preventing innocent people from being murdered from the Shepherd case. And their off-case arguments, new technology, we are in the 21st century. Forensic science must continue to develop and mature over the years. And a blend of science and technology has enabled police to solve crimes that were forever going to be a mystery. But due to new technology, they caught the culprit due to DNA. And the State Police Crime Laboratory System is at the forefront to develop new scientific crime-fighting capabilities and methods. And some of the new technologies include databanks, high-tech equipment, teleforensics, and training involving the use of simulated crime scenes. And according to the death penalty information under California law, crimes punishable by the death penalty include the first-degree murder with special circumstances, sabotage, train wrecking involving death, treason, perjury, and a fatal assault by a prisoner serving life in prison. These crimes are very heinous, and usually they go deep into undercover, and usually the culprit is right away obvious. And expediting the death penalty is not only worth saving money, but worth giving justice to the victims that have been wronged by the criminal. It also reinstates the trust of public that was lost due to the current death penalty. And where it takes many years to carry out death sentences, there is a risk that the public will come to believe that the sentence will never be applied. 43% of those sentenced to death are still in prison. In 1994, the Ohio Supreme Court observed that it had affirmed 87 death penalties and not one had been carried out. That fact, can I just close real quick?
You could say one last thing, like 2 sentences.
Okay. Overall, I talked about the benefits of and how it saved millions of dollars for California, is giving the families justice, reinstating good faith in public, and potentially preventing future crimes.